let's catch up with the hot gossip from the world of celebrities in our segment called Queer Entertainment with Hotspots Magazine. Out.com recently posted an article where they scoured the internet for the scoop on which gay celebrities are tops and who are bottoms.
I see what we did there.
Yeah. Right?
Good eye.
While they drew some of their decisions from jokes or song lyrics, it brings up the conversation that is ever ongoing, especially among gay men, about why we even care. As the concepts of top and bottom become, I've already told, by the way, a top and bottom joke of there's 4 at the table. As the concept of top and bottom become more and more antiquated. Cal's counting.
I'm going to need more vodka.
1 bottom, 2 bottom, 3 bottom, 4.
We asked the question, does it matter to younger gays or just the older crowd?
So if there were 4 of us on an island and you were the only top, would everyone remain a virgin?
Oh, yeah, there would be. Oh, yeah, there's so many good answers there.
I know.
But I would lose my gig. Wait, let me finish. Let me
Go ahead.
finish. Our entertainment headline of the week is, why are we so obsessed with queer celebrities who talk about being top, bottom, or versatile?
I think it's a fantasy of it, just being able, because we put these celebrities on a pedestal, first of all, and they're untouchable to us. So we kind of fantasize about them in a sexual way, either, bottoming for us or topping for us. And it's just a fun topic to talk
I'd
about.
have the same fantasy if it's a straight man.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not
They're
obsessed, but Ross Matthews is a top. I repeat, Ross Matthews is a top.
Girl bye.
Says Ross Matthews.
Ross Matthews.
Oh, that was like a millennium ago.
That was
literally.
He must.
almost 20. That was almost 30 years ago.
So now that he's married, is he more versed now that he's married?
Well, I've seen his husband, so he may be a top.
You haven't interviewed him?
Ross?
Is this someone you missed?
I haven't.
I didn't interview him. We just were chatting one time.
RuPaul, top or bottom?
Bottom.
Power top.
Power top.
Top.
Yeah.
No, I have no idea. I'm just curious what y'all thought.
But you know what's actually kind of funny about that is that the majority of drag queens that I do know, they're tops,
Right.
which I find fascinating.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Yeah. But the broader issue, why do we obsess over, and not just celebrities, in our own community, among ourselves, why do we obsess over top or bottom?
Because we love talking about sex.
Well, and also I think we're like, okay, well, if they are gay or if they are into me, is it really worth it? Because like, if I find out that they're a bottom, I'm like, keep moving.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Really? It's as harsh as that? The chop comes that quickly?
Look, I am too old. I am too old to deal with stuff that I don't want to deal with anymore.
That's called lazy.
I've got to get a new gig.
That's
First off,
lazy.
Wait, there it is. Now,
I was a top. I was a top in my 20s. Okay. 20s are for trying. 40s and the eve of 50. 20s? I'm just ready. Just
I was a top.
Pills? Is that the problem?
Popper.
Taking pills is not my issue. Trust me.
Okay.
So your country needs you. You need the top.
Yeah.
So
don't abandon.
Because we're on this island alone, and he's our only option.
I'm assuming it's a tropical island, and then there will be plenty. And there will be plenty of bananas on the island.
But here's the thing: your immediate dismissal of I'm moving on because. That assumes that even to people that primarily are bottom can experiment in different ways to create pleasure. There could be toys where both bottoms can enjoy it and using toys. And even if there's not anal penetration, there can be a intimate relationship. 100%. There can be oral, etc. You immediately, now I'm not really calling you out, but if you, I do. In the absolutes of move on, dude, you don't think it's worthwhile to pursue possibilities?
If you really dig somebody?
No, seriously.
I'll still be friends, but I'm not going to be like, so let me go buy you $100 worth of drinks at Drink, which by the way would be 2 drinks.
So you're not open to being versed at all?
Or you're not open to
I was going to say, open your mind when you open your legs.
Wait.
Top in my 20s, verse in my 30s,
Exhausted in your 40s.
legs in the air,
In your
40s and up.
and your 50s.
So you do at least put your legs up. You don't just roll over.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, no, and then again, it depends.
I
Is
got
it,
more
is it,
respect for you.
but is it a Tempur-Pedic mattress? Is it just, the
sure.
alley behind Ramrod? I mean, there are just so many factors.
There
All
are-
right,
yeah.
let's take a quick poll. Let's.
I'll take a quick poll.
There's more people at the table that identify in this principally in this way as John. Do you all agree with that? I really don't want to experiment around. This is what I like, and so therefore I'm going to do what I like.
100% disagree.
Why?
Because if I like somebody, I really want to please them. So there's a compromise because for me, if it's just about having sex and you're going to a bathhouse or you're just picking someone up for the night, great. You have your thing you like. You don't really care, great. But if you have a relationship with somebody, you really care about them.
Well, he's not talking about relationship. He's talking about the meet, and I'm in a bar and I meet you and I like you and you're sexy and you're interesting to me. But this is
at our age,
what
we
I
don't always
want.
have that many options.
We used to call
They could
that
be picky.
tricking.
Are you going to weigh in here?
I'm going to wait because I know for me, like primarily, my preference is to bottom.
You don't say.
Surprise. But I mean, I've been in, relationships and situations, sexual encounters with another bottom, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
Where I topped
Why?
and we reversed.
Explain to us why.
Because it was more about just the
Discovery.
not necessarily, the discovery,
is.
but just like the intimacy and just the sexuality of it and just pleasing each other and, two people just having fun and exploring each other's bodies and, anything can happen.
And it was a good experience.
It was an excellent experience.
Now, it's interesting to me because this is where we deviate. I understand what you said. You heard my recommendations and my questions of John. I have never bottomed ever in my entire life.
Would you?
And I really don't think I would. And I have, so when I came down to Fort Lauderdale 4 years ago, especially many people in production, I mean, I have been shamed and shamed and shamed and shamed. And oh, by the way, shamed for my proclivity of choice. And I've thought a lot about it. Why am I not interested in it? And I keep coming back to the point of, well, can I just not be interested in it? Is that enough? Well, for most people, most gay men, that's not enough. They can't leave it at that. It's no, there's something wrong with you. No, you're too selfish. No, you're not willing to experiment. No, there's
People have said that
something
to you?
that's, oh my goodness, today.
Girl.
Right, girl.
Girl,
And my only thought is, I always think about that. And second, it's just not something that I principally.
Well, if you don't like it, you don't like it, and I think that's fine. Yeah. But then no one should push you to bottom.
and or vice versa.
Yeah.
Shame the
But
bottom
also
from
knowing
the top.
you don't like
And
it
but
without
that's
having
what
tried.
we do.
Well, I've never been with a girl.
Neither have I. I'm Mackenzie
Neither have I.
6.
So one of my
You're
friends-
Mackenzie
Well,
6.
you
So-
know you don't want to do that.
So one of my friends actually asked me, was like, "Well, how do you know you're gay then? If you've never been with a girl?"
yes.
Intuitive.
So I presume he's been with a
Gay
guy.
man?
Well, I asked him the same question too, and I'm like, "How do I know you're straight?" He's like, "I never been with a guy," and I'm like, "You want to?" That's usually how it happens.
So what happened?
And you've
but-
had sex with straight,
I have,
and
yeah.
frequently
I
you've
have,
had
yeah.
experiences. Yeah. Well, that's what that color skin brings you.
Yes.
I'm jealous as all hell. It's just interesting to me because gay men, we have lots of double standards. I mean, clearly, we all know this. The groups that would identify themselves as power tops, they shame the bottoms. The power bottoms go, you're not good enough, you're not big enough, you're not great enough, you're blah, blah, blah. We
Amen.
shame you.
I'm sorry.
There's something
We're gonna
wrong with
have to-
God. And we just do this. We get into this place where enough is never enough. Do y'all agree with that?
But
That
I
that's
think
what we
it's
do?
also
we all
the
just get
world we
along?
live in right now, because you go to Grindr or one of these places, which is where a lot of people end up meeting, and you check off the box of what you want. So there is no room for negotiation. You're like, oh, that's what I want. I'll just be ready when they get here. It's not like when we used to go out and you'd meet somebody, you didn't know what their proclivity would be. You just went home and there was that sexual energy, and you had a great
Discovery.
night, and maybe you had penetration, maybe you didn't.
You know, it's another example of how the world is. I don't know. We
Evolving.
might and we might be a bit off track. If you are you're a gay man, and if you are if you are very hung. It is much easier for you than if you're not. Well, but how come? Who taught us to think this way, to respond this way? Someone did, because it was not a natural.
It wasn't my mother.
And
Wow.
what were we talking about? I just went completely blank. It's just a situation where we find the extremes in every possible way. And for me, it is, to be honest with you, it's always been relatively easy, but I don't think it's relatively fair. And that's why I think this is an interesting conversation, because we shame ourselves in so many different ways, and I think that keeps us from happiness and joy.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a prejudice that exists amongst the gay community, amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
So the jocks and the twinks and the bears and everyone else. Everyone is in their little groups. And there's a little hateful to each other, and it's kind of like it's the Mean Girls effect.
I'll give you an example. When I came down here, and it really was a shocking moment. I went to a party at Leatherworks, and it was a fundraiser for IML. I don't really remember the details of it. And I was with a woman, and and went to this party, and it was an open bar, and it was in the alleyway where they were doing the party, and I was with a woman, and she was dressed in the appropriate attire for a leather event. And we went inside, and there was lots and lots going on inside, and it basically had become a den or a bathhouse, however you wanted to define it. And she got involved, and I was shocked, because it was like, wait, what possibly could be entertaining lesbian for this lesbian in this environment? And I remember thinking to myself, Al, you are clearly so ignorant on so many things that I make a classification judgment and go, oh, that's what it is. And that moment was really good for me, because I realized, oh, I got to stop. I got to work on
spectrum, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
And I think we also judge each other. We make an assumption, not judge, an assumption. That's a bottom. That's a top.
Yeah.
That's a bottom.
And I agree with you, but let's make sure we're clear. Did I make the incorrect assumption by this table?
Yes. I mean, because I'm verse. And I was, you laugh all you want, but I was a total top until I had some issues being able to perform. And now that I found something that works for me, I am more than happy to be on top of things, because that's what I enjoy. But in order to have the intimacy, when the other part wasn't working the way it should, I took the other role.
Okay. And what was your preference?
Top.
Okay. Well, so you are a top. Something got in, something interfered that natural process.
But I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I don't mind it. I enjoy it. If you're with somebody and just, yeah, it's great. And if the person can be verse also, it's a fun swapping back and forth.
Yeah. Okay. I've seen that in videos. I have a few friends too. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.